Hello, just before we get started in today's video, a future video is going to be an hour-long special. If you could leave questions in the comment section, that would be preferred. Intro, roll it. Folks, welcome back to 5th place in the Championship, Thames FC. It's daft. This is the episode before our longer special episode. I don't know how long it'll be, but it'll be sort of the January period. We'll see how it goes. But today, then, we face off against Rotherham and Leeds United in a Yorkshire battle. But you can see we're in 5th position, and we're in 5th position, I've got to be honest, without having to do too much. We still have games in hand over a lot of the sides around us, and Hull is still sort of our marker, 5 points behind them. Of course, if teams in hand win their games in hand on us, we could slip to around 10th and 11th place, so don't read too much into that right now. It looks pretty impressive. It looks pretty good. But our recent form, if you take a look at it, actually, if you go to stages and then look at, if you go to the last 5 games, we're in 6th, which is pretty good. Some of the teams around us, though, not playing particularly well. Rotherham and Leeds, not having the greatest times of it right now. Newcastle, West Ham, they're struggling. Crystal Palace, Cardiff, they're struggling as well. And their teams, a few of them at least, are in and around us. You see Palace there. West Ham, of course, as well. Not playing particularly well. So teams have faltered. We've carried on doing okay. You saw from the form table, 3 wins in our last 5. But it was West Ham the last time we met. Brighton followed that one. It was a 2-1 defeat to them. They dominated the game largely. 2-1 win over Nottingham Forest. Draw against Sheffield United, which is an okay result. Tom George has been in the goals for us recently, doing really well. It was then Birmingham, which was a 2-1 win. A 4-1 defeat to Wolves. Now, it should be said, if you look at the league table, Wolves top of the table, 41 points. You'll notice, though, 20 games played by Wolves. The goal difference of 14. It's a very closely contested championship season. Like, you've got teams down here like Norwich and Sheffield Wednesday with positive goal differences, which is a bit strange. Norwich have played 14 matches. Oh my god, Norwich have played 14 games because they're in the Europa League. 14. I mean, are they doing well in the Europa League? So Group H, where are they? So they've got Wolfsburg, Willem and Dynamo. They might, if they go through, it's going to get even worse. I hadn't noticed that until right. If Norwich win all their games in hand on us, like, we've played 7 more matches than Norwich. And you think a team capable of being in that division could easily, being in the Europa League, could easily finish. That's ridiculous. The rise of Norwich over the season is going to be fantastic. But you see my point. I guess if you look at it, Sheffield Wednesday, a better example. Down in 18th position, but have a positive goal difference. You don't really see that these days, but that's the case. So today should be quite exciting. As I say, Rotherham and Leeds coming up for us. We beat Barnsley as well, I should mention, 4-1. Altidale back in the side and back in the goals. That's what we want to see. And speaking of Altidale, you can see then he's back in on that right-hand side. George to play up top, Beard on the left, McDonnell, Harris, Burgess is injured again. Of course he is. Crawford, Murray, McLean and Wolfenden are at the back with MC Clark in goal. And interestingly, really, for us, that Gary Davis has picked up an injury. He'll be out for quite a long while. Dislocated shoulder as well. Only 4 clean sheets this year, so not particularly fantastic. Same as for Fitzpatrick last season. And you'll notice as well, Robbie Edmund is out for a few days with a concussion. Might be back for the next game. Seems unlikely, though. I don't really want to risk him. Burgess, of course, is going to have to step out too with this injury. He's not out for a massive period, if I'm not mistaken. 10 to 13 days with the concussion. So Stevie Foster's going to come in. Burgess is going to have to drop to the reserves with Lawrence Smith coming back in. We were doing a bit of squad rotation recently, and I'm now wondering, with Lawrence Smith back, do we play him instead of Harris, who's had a pretty good... I mean, he's on a 7.4 there. We'll keep him in there. Lawrence Smith's played a lot of football for us in the last couple of years, so we'll give him the rest and maybe play him against Leeds instead. Okay, then. Looking all right. Happy, Ben? Happy. Okay, mate, we're continuing this more direct style. Doesn't work against every team. Some teams are just better than others. Wolves was hard to watch. Not seeing us be sort of decapitated that badly for a while, so it was a shock to my system. They're playing a very similar formation to us. Still got a real-life person, which I like to see. Joe Evans, currently of MK Dons. So, for those that are interested, you just don't see them very often, do you? That's what I like about it. Right, with Altidale back in the team, though, and back on the pitch, I'm very excited to see how he does today. His pace out on that right-hand side. Of course, he was our key striker last year. Make no mistake, he's really adapted well. I think you may have seen it when we look at the league table, but he's in the top 3 in terms of average rating in the Championship as MC Clark has conceded a free kick 1 minute into Rotherham. Rotherham are 13th. This is a bit annoying. But no, Altidale's having a great year when he's here. He's obviously had a bit of an injury problem recently. As Johnson there with that free kick. MC Clark, not your best work, mate. He's MC because his initials are MC. So I've got MC Clark because that ball isn't the best from Harris, who has got to impress. Obviously, he's in there based on the fact he's played pretty well for me when he's featured. As it goes out to that side, Wolfen then puts it towards George, who I will say as well, we should have locked down for another year on his contract. I'm actually going to show you Tom George in between these matches because he's improved dramatically. And when I say dramatically, he was already pretty good when he first came in as Altidale, or the pace of Altidale. You can see burst past 3 men almost, shot on target. It wasn't forthcoming, but a decent run from him. We're very early into this game, I noticed. I thought we were about 20 minutes in, but Altidale again, if you can get past his man, get a delivery into the centre. His crossing is where it falls down. His pace is fantastic. It's been a very highlight-friendly first 5 minutes. It's been action-packed. Now, Rotherham got that first early free kick. A minute in. Can they get a second on the board? Back to the back post. Oh, MC Clark with a decent save. Really, though, that should have been 2-0. Wolfenden finds Altadale. We're suddenly 6 minutes in. George is there now. To the back post. Beard knocks it down. Referee. No. Beard on it again. Back across. Foster's there. Stevie Foster piles in. Are we on full match highlights? We're not. 6 minutes in. Highlights galore. Stevie Foster still doing it in the Championship. You love to see it. As George places to the back post. Beard heads it down, doesn't quite fall. I mean, the challenge comes in, a bit risky, but Stevie Foster arriving late, that's what those attacking midfielders do, and that's what they give you. We saw Stevie Foster do it, actually, in a very similar system years ago, and he's still doing it now. A man that certainly plays above his star rating. Well, so far, a good goal from us from open play, and we've only conceded a free kick, so I can't be too unhappy. It's Rotherham, though, who have got a bit of possession in the midfield. That ball forward, not the best, and the header clear, not good either. Evans is in a little bit of space, ball in, and again, we've said it before, we'll say it again, should have been 2 for them. I mean, they are slacking a little bit. They're still continuing this formation. We're matching up against them quite neatly. They've got an injury, which might be good news for us. You can see they've got quite an isolated figure in their number 9. Balls over the top could be dangerous. That one not so good, though. And speaking of balls over the top, George is on it. If we can support him in the middle, please, midfield. Oh, he's brought him down. Is it Silk that did it? I think it is. And George wins the penalty. It's going to be Crawford to step up. I didn't put him on Crawford to step up and run. Maximum confidence in him. Left back Crawford. Oh dear. he's not scored, and he's missed the rebound as well. I don't actually know. Has he got good penalty taking? Why is he's got 8? I mean, I haven't set that to what? 1-1 at half time. There's an investigation going on. Our penalty takers have not been updated for quite some time. That explains a lot. That said, our penalty takers are absolute. He's the best out there who was actually playing. So while it seems bizarre, I'm putting Tom George on them from now on. And then after that, Altadale, just because he can actually do goal scoring. That makes a lot of sense. Don't think I've updated that since about League 2. So that's good work, Ben. Okay, so far so good though. If we can get ourselves another win, that'd be perfect. Although, so far, Rotherham have been decent. MC Clark's goal kick fell straight to George, and now Foster in the centre trying to work a little bit of magic. A great ball from Altadale. George is in on goal. Oh, do you know what? You're expecting to score. Got Player of the Month recently as well, did Tom George. Maybe Young Player of the Month. Either way, 5 goals in 6 for him. Has had a really good spell of late as the ball's fired in. Forced to Keon Harris, whose shot doesn't quite go in. Gets it back, though. This highlight doesn't seem like it's going to be quite over yet. Beard all the way back to George, who just takes it out of the area now. Can he get it back into the centre? He can. Do we meet it? We don't. Keon Harris, nobody. It's going to be cleared. Worry a little bit for Crawford, missed that penalty. We do have Cockrell Mullet, who we can bring on, as it's going to be Rotherham with a chance, huge chance, hits the post, and cleared. 20 minutes to go. I think it's time to start thinking about a couple of changes. George has had quite a quiet game, actually, so Tipping's going to come on, who started the season really well. McDonald's going to go off for Holmes over on that side, and I'm actually going to make the change out left back. Crawford struggled out there a little bit. Cockrell Mullet's going to come on. He's perfect in that defensive full-back role, so we'll switch it up. There's a corner for us as well. 15 minutes left as Keon Harris's ball in is not the greatest, and we're going to allow Evans to get there first and launch it forward towards Hamilton. It's going to be who it breaks to once it settles, and it's down to McLean, whose ball forward. Well, this could be interesting. Brown, well, he took his sweet time there to deal with it, didn't he? But deal with it he did. As now it's going to be Rotherham to try and find a goal in it. Hamilton turns his man if he gets a shot in. Well, it's on goal, but it's over the goal. It's a free kick. We've seen them score 1. Johnson, delivery's good. And Rotherham again from a set-piece play. Get the goal and Thames fall. This has been quite... I mean, possession-wise, it's been pretty even. But they've had the best of us. I mean, there's still time left. Ball played in. Great header. MC Clark falls to the floor. It was him or our Peruvian wonder. And... I'm now, at this point now, regretting my decision, and I'm going to change goalkeepers for the Leeds game. I mean, Johnson on these set pieces, by the way, I'm pretty sure he's the one that scored the first, right? Every single goal has come from a set piece. Yeah, it was. Rue Johnson, as there's 5 minutes to go, we put a corner on our set of our own, but no, here we go again. Rotherham now, they're loving it. Johnson makes it 4, and, you know, I mentioned the Wolves game. This is feeling very, very similar to the Wolves game and the exact same scoreline. We've gone attacking quite late on, and they've made us look like fools, to be honest. Bloody fools. Ball over the top, great touch from Johnson, and the finish is comfortable. We made those changes. I'm now wondering if they were just the wrong changes, really. I felt like we need to freshen it up a little bit. I know we had the goal, we were level, but... I don't know, I feel like something needs to change, and I feel like I've now messed it up, but I don't know. Maybe counter-attacking would have made more sense, but I just think because of our league position, I felt like all of a sudden this is the game we should be winning, but logically speaking, that isn't the case, is it? Like, when you think about where we are, beating like Rotherham in football right now aren't that good, but they're a mid-table side in the Championship, so Maybe we should have thought about this a bit more. Like, a draw would have been quite a good result when you think about it. What I'm getting at is the win wasn't absolutely necessary, but we pushed for it and lost. As 4-1. And we go on to the next one, that Crawford penalty. Could that have made all the difference? We'll never know. Okay, that was a Wednesday game. Leeds coming up then. Let's get there, shall we? Okay, Leeds won their game against Barnsley, a relegation-threatened Barnsley. And now we faced them. Oh my word, Ipswich were 5-2 up in that game. And Brentford came back. Wow, 6-5. That's the story right here. I remember seeing it at one point, and it was 5-2 Ipswich, I'm pretty sure. And then goals galore late on. I mean, we had the same thing on our game, to be fair. Last 12 minutes, we just crumbled. Barry McDonnell is out for a few days with a bruised knee. He's gone under the radar a little bit, Barry McDonnell, if we're being honest. He's basically a slower version of Stevie Foster with better mentals. That's the best way I could describe him. I did mention Tom George, by the way, who, I mean, I'll just give you that. Yep, there he is. Better than Pat Rogers. Who knew? Not in terms of goals, though. Oh, Pat. Cardiff keep charging more every time I inquire about Pat Rogers, so just stopping doing it for a bit. Barnsley have offered me the job. No. It's important we get something from this Leeds game. We have Hull after this in the league, and that is a far tougher game. So I'm a bit concerned that we don't get something from the Leeds one. You can see there Hull in second place. This could be three defeats on the bounce, which is not what you need. Okay then, welcome back for Game 2 against Leeds United, and some changes have happened in the team. Smith is going to come in for Kieran Harris, just the experience of him. He knows the role slightly better as well. Wolfenden, McLean, Murray and Crawford the same back line. Lazaro now, though, is going to feature in goal. Paulo Lazaro, our young wonder kid Peruvian, who's 16 years of age. He has played one game for us, conceded 2 goals, but look, he's got to grow into this shirt, and I'm now looking at his attributes thinking, I thought he was a bit better than this. Problem is, MC Clark, he's just letting me down. 2 appearances, 5 goals. No, I'm being bold, Ben. Be bold. That's right. Lazaro is going to be it. Lazaro's the key. We need a lot more in this game out of Altidal, Beard and George. If we get it out of those boys, then we should win the game. And with Lawrence Smith back in there, just gives us a bit more. Everything revolves around him. It's important that he has a good game. They've got this side up front. They're number 9, Emmanuel Mavrici. Is that how you'd say it? Very, very fast. Blimey. Off the ball, not particularly good. Neither is composure. When would a striker with just pure pace at 6'2" and a target man be any good? Oh, yeah, Altidal. But he's got 17 finishing, which is a bit scary. Right, let's give the fans something to cheer for today. Let's passionately say they've got more, and I believe they've got what it takes. Come on, boys. We need this. At home, at the Riverbank, it's Leeds United, a side that, of course, is known globally, Leeds United. Should have potentially rested the boys in that last game, but I do have players we can bring on. Kieran Harris can still feature if needs be. Holmes is there as well. It's possible. And Leeds are playing. You can see their number 7 is pushed up right behind their striker. So that Day and Mavrici, they're going to be the problem. First highlight of the game then, and it goes Leeds' way as it goes out towards Crawford, who seems to knock it forward again. And can we win this back and start our counter of our own, or are we going to succumb to the pressure of them as Mavrici holds it up quite nicely? The number 5 now brings it forward, plays it across to Da Silva, and we're looking a little bit all over the place. Ball over towards Day, who's hit the crossbar. McLean's got it cleared just about out for a corner, but I mean, well defended in the end, actually. There was a good bit of pressure from Leeds, and we did okay. I'm already debating whether we go to the counter-attack. Stylistically, we've got a lot of pace out wide. I feel like if we can soak it up a little bit and then hit them, we should be okay. So Lawrence Smith, key to that. Not only for like his defensive responsibilities, but his distribution's going to have to be good as they go very close again, and we barely get it away. I mean, there we are, highlight over. Oh, I'm a little bit apprehensive because, again, I'm worried about the Hull game coming up as well, as Steve Foster gets on it for the first time today, and now we see Tom George turn and move. Great ball to McDonnell, who's made a bursting one forward. Zidane, that is indeed Enzo Zidane, I believe it is. Is it Luka Zidane, probably? One of the sons of Zinedine Zidane does play in goal for Leeds. That's a fact. We've got it again in the centre. Stevie Foster dictating things and finds Tom George. He goes all the way back to Crawford, but that's okay. We've got the 2 midfield there, though. Midfielders not really spaced out very well as George gets to the byline. Altidal, I don't know what the keeper's done. The keeper's had a Mano. I mean, as he tries to headbutt it, taken after his father, you never know. It's very possible. Has Zidane gone for the headbutt? We'll see it in slow motion. As a great ball over from Crawford, by the way. George gets there, and then Luka Zidane, he dives over it. That's a pity. Altidal finishes it off calmly and coolly, and Thames take a 1-0 lead. Oh dear. Maybe he was trying to headbutt. I mean, he still might have been. In my mind, that's what he's done. I think that's what we should all picture. Just a flying sort of, I'd like that. At half time then, 1-0 to the good. Not many goals in the league. Lots of 0-0s going on right now. But we've got our 1-0 over Leeds, and that's what we're looking for. Calmly say, we've got a guard against complacency. Don't think the job's done. I'm going to say that. They've gained a bit of focus, look motivated. I'm going to send them straight back out for the second half. Come on, boys. We need another one, really. Need a second. Clean sheets once again this season. Not something we're particularly known for, as that ball to Tom George. He's causing them problems. I shouldn't have taken him off last game. There's now the regret of, should have kept him out there. This should be a good game to win, though. Leeds not far behind us in the league table, of course, with all these teams who've got games in hand on us. Any wins we can get against them puts us in a much stronger position. I fully expect, and I'll say this openly now to you lot, that I think we will drop out of the playoffs. I think there's no... I know we're in there, and I keep saying that, and then you come back for another episode, and we're looking good as George, from that Altidal chance... Oh, my word, Altidal, what a stunning through ball. I never expected it. George with the finish, hence we were talking about promotion possibilities. I just think the teams behind us, so many games in hand. Norwich are one of the examples, right? That if they win all their games, we're going to be in about 10th, 11th, which makes more sense for a first season as a promoted club, I would say. Great finish from Tom George, though. Keep this up and we could win the league. Sorry, that's going against everything I've said. Corner now. Smith to play it in. Delivery's usually pretty good. Doesn't get past the first man on this occasion. As George plays it back out to him. Smith with the second bite of the cherry. Plays it in. Altidal's there. Referee? No, nothing. Oh, and Leeds going to break away then. Gray on that left-hand side. The pace of him is causing us problems. We're not really closing him down. Ball played in. Mavrici with the goal. And that finishing ability proving to be a problem. And Leeds get back on, well, not level terms, but they're competitive once again. And the clean sheet. I mean... What a clean sheet. I don't know how many we've kept this year. I've not really kept a tally on it because we've been doing quite well. It can't be more than 10. There's no chance it's more than... It might maybe 6 or something. 20 minutes to go, and we're in that tricky spell now. I'll pause it so I've got the 15 minutes. Now, you might see, sometimes you might see when we go through previous games that in games we're winning or leading, I am very hesitant to make changes. I don't want to hurt the match engine. I feel like if it thinks we're going to win the game, let it win the game, and I don't want to change too much. Fitness wise right now, I don't even know who you take off. Maybe Holmes for Foster, and that's the only change we can really consider making. I think that is a change we will make actually. Foster's had a decent game, but Holmes, where is he here? To come on instead. It's quite a like-for-like substitution, keeps it fresh out there as well, and Smith and McDonald, they're playing okay, whereas Foster was having the worst game of the three. So you're not really losing much by taking Steve Foster off, in theory. In theory being the key words there, and we've been on counter this whole time. I'm going to stay on it. I think that's probably the right thing to do. As Leeds try and pressure us forward, then we should try and hit them on the break. Because it's a chance for us, though. Nice bit of possession as it bounces around. And this is where we start to get a little bit nervous. That ball up is decent. Murray wins the first one. And now Beard, though, finds Tom George again, who's got so many players around him. Does well to find McDonald in the end, actually, and not to lose it. Up towards Altidal, who obviously plays as that target man still. So he's got that aerial ability about him. And we're just keeping the ball here. Can you sense the nerves, viewers? Holmes is on it now. Back to Smith. A third goal seals it. But the fear of a breakaway is very much in the back of my mind right now, as we are playing some very closely contested football. Beard pulls it back again, nobody there, and cleared. We're toying with them on the edge of their own box. Time obviously going to tick away. 3 minutes left to go. Just hold on, boys, come on. 60 seconds left, and we know that late drama in Thames episodes is something that happens all too often. If we're going to keep the ball on the edge of their box again, I'm all for that. This is lovely stuff. I'll tell you what, I could watch this all day, every day. Look at us, just knocking it around like it's going to go out of fashion. Look at it. Into George. Can he finish him off? He can't quite. He's down with a save. And now this is going to be their final chance with 25 seconds to go. They found Crawford. I mean, it wasn't a good goal kick. I'll put it that way. And that, my friends, with 10 seconds left, you would hope and think is going to be that. A really good win after defeat to Rotherham, who on paper, I mean, both sides very, very similar. So it was quite a back and forth episode today. Heavy defeat, then a nice win against Leeds, where they didn't really come into it in the second half at all. Tom George, the hero, once again, with that second goal. Great ball from Altidal. Don't let it go unnoticed. And there we are then. Thames get themselves another win. And I think with that, we stay in the playoff for now. Fourth in the playoffs. That's stupid, isn't it? 3 points behind Hull. If we actually play next, although you're not going to see it, don't expect too much when we come back next time. Perb though, Tom George. Well done, my man. So I mentioned it before, and I'll mention it again then, that we are going to play through the January period. I don't know what it's going to be yet. I don't know if it's going to be a live stream or a video, so we'll have to wait and see who it will be, though. But games for that one then should be Cardiff, Sheffield Wednesday, QPR, and Crystal Palace, as oxygen left my body, apparently. And not too much transfer action, although it's going to be a January. I don't think there'll be too much going on. There will be an FA Cup game in there as well, though, I've just realised. And because of that video, it's really important. Can you please leave me questions and things to answer, whether it's a live stream or if it's a video on its own? Questions in the comment section. Yeah, do get involved, and I will answer not everything, but some of the best ones, and I will try and show them on screen as we do the video, and hopefully it'll be a nice big live comment extravaganza. Don't do them all the time, so hopefully you'll look forward to it. And if you are, do leave a like and do subscribe if you want to see some more, and I'll see you again soon. Goodbye. And before we go, look at these! People's Thames shirts have arrived. They'll be available for about a month or so, maybe more. They're available, link in the description. Thank you for getting them. You look great. I'm so excited.